Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be covering everything in depth on how to build the commands for a fully functioning Bedwars map in P, but I'm fairly certain the commands will also work in Java Edition as well. I've been working on this for a long time, so if you like it, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. So anyways, in this video I'm going to cover how to make a randomized team selector. It can be solos, duos, or anything you want really. I'll be teaching you how to do the respawn mechanics. This includes the bed detection to see if you can respawn or not. It also includes the mechanic which waits a certain amount of time before you can respawn. I'll also be teaching you how to make a forge or item generator which increases in speed over time. And I'll also cover how to make a simple shop. In that, I'll be teaching you how to have your armor and sword stay on you if you die. So, let's get into it. Well, I'll be doing the game mechanics first, which are the respawn system and the randomized team select. So yeah, I'll be doing the team select first, since it's at the start of the game. So this is how it would work. So you press the button, and then it teleports me over to the island spawn point. In my case, it's red. So because I'm in team red. Yeah. So yeah, how this works is you want to make a lobby, like somewhere where like the game start, and then so how the commands work is that it teleports a random player from the lobby into somewhere, like just somewhere. Like in my case, I am teleporting him here. I'm gonna be tagging that player or it could be players. Like you could teleport 2 random players over there to here, so it can be like duos, trios, squads, whatever you want. So yeah, you could have this command go for like a certain number of times for how many players you want in a team. And then I'll be tagging all of them red. That's the team, so red. And then, oh yeah, when I tag a player or players, it can be used later on to like have certain commands. So yeah, you want to tag them red, and the team color, and then I'll be teleporting all of them over to the spawn point for the island, for the red spawn point island. So that's here. And then I'll be spawning, like doing the spawn point command for them to teleport them when they spawn into the respawn section, which I'm going to show you how to do later. So yeah, so when they die, they actually teleport there and not to the island, like instantly. So yeah, that's how you make the randomized team select. Oh, and by the way, so for the number of teams you want to have, you repeat this command over and over again until everyone there is in a certain, like in an island. I would have like around 8 or 4 teams if you want to do duos, but 8 teams if you want solos. I'd repeat this 8 times for each of the teams. So yeah, that's pretty easy to do. You just have to do this, except you tag the person that color. Alright, now for the bed detection and respawn system. So for the detecting bed part, you want to test if the bed is currently air, which it isn't because there's a bed here. So if it is, then it'll put a barrier here, so people can't just like cheese the system and put a block down to make it think it's a bed. So yeah, you want to put a barrier there, and then you want to put the spawn point for everyone in the team, which is what I'm doing, red. So team red to the spectating part. So and then you want to have a set block redstone to over here, which tells the red team, that their bed's been destroyed. So that's just basically what this is. It's just a title. So yeah, that's pretty simple. That's the bed detection. Now for the respawn mechanics. So to do this, I'll show you for a second. So if someone dies, they will respawn in here, and then it'll wait 5 seconds and then teleport them back to the island. So to do this, I'll be using a scoreboard system, so like a scoreboard timer system. So you want to like make a scoreboard, objectives, and timer, and then make a player called whatever you want. So in this case, I did the player called Respawn Red. So yeah, so it will test if someone in red team is over here, and then it will keep on adding, like it will continuously add 1 to respawn red, and then this here tests if the respawn red is 1 or not, and then if it is, then it will set a redstone block over here, which activates all of this, and then this right here is just dispensing the helmet on their head, like their colored helmet, depending on what team they're on. So it just sets a redstone block underneath this dispenser, and it dispenses it on his head. And then this here just clones the dispenser, so the thing never runs out. And the reason why I'm not like putting this bit over here in one chain is because if I do, then this whole bit here will just repeat, like it will loop, and you don't want that. So yeah, I just have to test if it's 1 or not, and then go, so it won't like loop. So once there's a redstone block here, it will activate all of this. This side is the title, and this side is the actual timer. It just gives the title for whoever's in there respawning in, which is there, and then the times are that. So these outside numbers here are the fade in and fade out effect, and the middle number here is actually the actual seconds is. So 10 is 1 second, so I wrote that because you want to display it for 1 second. So this will also get activated too because it's a redstone block. So it will activate this, which is on repeat, and it needs redstone, so it's not always active. So it will test if the respawn red scoreboard is 20 or not, which is, so if you didn't know, 20 ticks is 1 second. So it tests if there is 20 in that respawn red, since this here is always like looping, and it'll add 1 to respawn red. So yeah, when it turns 20, which is 1 second, it sets a redstone block over here, which then activates all of this, and then that, and then if this is 40, it tests if it's 40, because 20 plus 20 is 40, and then you'll put a redstone block there, and so on. And then all that's changing basically is the title and this, and the amount of time it's waiting. So that's all that's changing until the end. This is just the title as well. And then over here, it just teleports those people, or the person, from here to over to the island, and so it teleports them, and then it resets the scoreboard back to 0, and then it fills this back in with air, so it doesn't so you can use it again for the next player. And then over here, it sets a redstone block all the way over here, which then gives back all their armor if they've bought it from the shop, which I will tell you how to do later. So that's basically it. That's how you do the respawn system. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to do the forge. So it's broken up to 2 parts. This is the main part, and this is just the add-on. You don't really need this part, it's just to make it go quicker over time. So yeah, to start off, you want to make a scoreboard called timer. Okay, so this command here always adds 1 to the scoreboard every single tick if there's a redstone block here, since it needs redstone. So, and this command block after this tests if it's 1200. So 1200 is 1 minute, since 20 ticks is 1 second, so 1200 is 1 minute. So it tests if it's 1200. If it is, since it's conditional, it resets the timer, the scoreboard, back to 0. And then it sets a redstone block down here, underneath the dropper, and then which dispenses 3. So there's a 1 in 3 chance that it's gold, and there's a 2 in 3 chance that it's iron. So there's a higher chance it's gonna drop iron than gold. And then this command here just resets this block to air. So it's ready to use again. So, and this command here just clones this to there, so it'll never run out. So if you go back here, so add 1 to speed increase, and then it just loops back down to here. And then since it resets this to 0, it keeps on checking if it's 1 minute or not, since it's always adding by 1. And then once it gets to 5, the speed increase scoreboard, if it gets to 5, so if it does this for 5 times, it will reset the speed increase one, to 0. And then it will set block here to air, so this doesn't get activated, so it doesn't loop again. And then it just adds a redstone block over here. So this is basically just the same thing as that, except it tests if it's 600, so that's 30 seconds, not 1 minute. And then, yeah, this is basically just the same thing. And then it just sets a block there, and then it will activate this. So right now it's not on, because there's no redstone block there. But yeah, that's how you do the forge. Alright, so now I'll be doing this shop. Just a disclaimer, there's a lot of flaws with this one, such as you could just take out the block in here, and there's another flaw where you don't have enough money, or the thing you're buying with. In this case, I'm using iron ingots. So if you don't have enough money, it'll still clear 1 of it. So if you use it, then it will still clear it anyways, clear 1 of it. So that's not as bad as the just taking out the block, but yeah. Alright, so I'll show you how this works. So I'm just gonna go to game mode survival. So let me just give myself some iron. So if you rotate this, so right now it's gonna take away 4 iron and then give me 16 wool. So you can spam click this, which is good. So that's why I used iron frames. I've seen other people use armor stands, where if you hit the armor stand, when it breaks, it detects if it breaks and then it gives you it. But I didn't do that because you have if you're in survival, you have to hit it multiple times before it breaks, which isn't good. So because you can't spam it. But with this you can spam it. So that's a pro of this one if you use it. Okay, so how this works is that it checks if the player has that currency or not. So right now it tests if it can clear 1 iron ingot from the person. So if it can, then it'll clear the rest of the 3. So 3 plus 1 is 4, so which is how much I want it to clear. So 4 iron. It costs 4 iron to get the 16 wool. So if it can clear it, then it gives the player 16 wool. It's just using conditional commands. So yeah, it's a pretty simple design. So it uses observers to send the pulse, and then it activates. So that's how it functions. With this, you can actually stack it to make it look like this. So you can have like multiple of these like stacked on top of each other. Alright, so let's move on to the armor. So I made this as a team upgrade. So if someone buys the armor, then everyone in their team gets it. So how this works, I'll just show you a demonstration of it real quick. If I go to survival and get some gold, and then if I try to buy it, it takes away the gold and it gives me iron armor. So and then if I try to get the gold armor, it takes away the gold again, except it's 11 gold and it gives me gold armor. If I try to get the iron armor back, I can't, it doesn't let me, and I'll still have the gold armor on me. So that's how it works. I'm gonna show you how the command blocks work now. So oops. Okay, so if you go around the back, it's using the same like sort of principle as this, where it clears the person by 1 and then it checks it. But this time it's clearing it with gold ingots, and it checks if the player doesn't have the tag gold armor. So if the player hasn't already bought the gold armor, then it lets the commands go through. So if the player hasn't bought the gold armor already, it clears it by 8, and then it adds the tag iron armor to the person, or to the red team, because I'm doing the entire team. And then it sets a block over here, which activates all, like, it gives all the gear. So this is the Replaceitem command. It's a pretty long command, so I'll put it in this description below. So how this works is it replaces the armor slot of feet with iron boots to the person that is in team red, or to the people in team red, and that has the tag iron armor. So the reason why I did this in a separate chain and not just in one thing is because before I told you that when you respawn, it sets a block here, so it automatically gives it back. So you want it to be like in a separate thing, so it can just like be set, like you can just put a redstone block there and it will activate. So that's why I put it in a separate chain as this. And then, so if you want to do more than one armor, so what I did here is gold armor, it clears it, so it does the same thing, and then it does all this, except this time, so it's going to be removing the iron armor tag and then adding the gold armor tag. It's going to be setting a redstone block over here, and then it's going to be doing the replace. It's basically the same thing, except it's with golden armor and not iron. So yeah, that's the shop done. Alright guys, you've made it to the end of the video. I really hope I taught you something, and if you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one.